Hello, and welcome to a very special episode of the Force Commander's Guide to Purging Nurgle. I'm Jade Star, joined as always by my only friend who happens to be a nude male model for popsicles, Polish.
Look, there are a lot of things in my 20s I'm not proud
of. I'm glad I wrote that one down and saved it.
Hey, meditation chamber.
Yes. This is something that's really valuable in this game, and something I don't believe shows up in many others. Is just a facility just to straight improve the experience gain of your units. It's very valuable here. I almost inhaled something. It's very valuable here, especially if you're maybe taking losses, to be able to skill up new recruits quickly. Other games have different ways to go about that. For instance, like Darkest Dungeon will let you just start recruiting higher level units right away. Our barracks will do that as well as we recruit. XCOM, at least, you could throw them into the Guerrilla Training Center to get them to be squaddies right away. Different games have different ways of playing kind of catch-up, so that you're not always getting a terrible level 0 recruit midway through the game. And I like how this game does it as well.
Yeah, War of the Chosen also occasionally gave you a soldier reward, like
for missions.
Soldier.
Yes,
missions, yeah.
Yes, you're right. We're running a little low on things to research here. I think most of that right side of the book is going to be blocked off behind the craft world.
Yeah. Stuck behind plot.
Yeah. Strength of Spirit.
Is it's one of those ones that 50% crit seems nice but kind of weak. Later on, it can be extremely strong.
Yeah. Pre-changes, and I mean, even after the changes, it's still a good strategy, is just Gate of Infinity on a mission objective, pop Strength of Spirit, just blow it up and you're out of there.
Yeah.
Fortunately, our blue missions are spread out far too much to stand a good chance of getting 2 of them.
Time to see which one gives you the better rewards. Oh, the worst glorious deed.
Yeah. Some war gear, an interceptor. I think I still need another interceptor, or was I just cycling them at this point? What do we got? Justicar, servitors.
Servo skulls. Servitors are in the DLC that you don't have.
Oh, right. Okay, right. Servitors are the mechanics, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Do those also require horrible lobotomies?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, a servo skull inherently requires lobotomy because it's a skull.
Yeah. But the
servitors
servitors
are the lobotomized ones you're thinking of.
Okay. I think so. We will see them in this game. There are occasional missions where we have to defend a planet, and you have to defend some servitors because they're holding a MacGuffin or something.
Or they're repairing something.
Yeah. At least the ship's getting some nice upgrades. You can now actually start building parts of the Apothecarion I care about. Not Argorium yet, or Prognostic Arcs. The map's still small. I recorded this a week ago. I've forgotten what I've done. All of these are pretty good upgrades here.
It's really tempting to go for the augmentation chamber early, but you do eventually run out of uses for servitors, kind of. But you will almost always be held up on the number of servitors you have versus, time spent upgrading.
Yeah. I think my line of thinking was along with you there that it's best to get that early if I'm going to get it ever.
Yeah.
So I picked this mission also because it was the most corrupted planet, and it was going up to corruption, and I wanted the interceptor, I think. No, whatever. So this is the singular worst glorious deed I can think of. There are other terrible ones, like don't ever use willpower, which is really easy to fail inadvertently by I just force bolt him for that 1 extra point of damage to secure a kill. Whoops, I failed.
Yeah. It would be nicer if the don't ever use willpower locked anything that used willpower.
Yes.
Or gave you some sort of warning saying, you will fail your glorious deed.
Right.
Storm.
So, I have elected for Hubris, though. And, being down an entire unit is not great. I mean, it's just straight off a flat 25% reduction in force, but that really starts to come in a lot more when you put your 3 guys against the enemy on the other side and be like, well, if one of them locks one of my guys down, I'm now even more shorthanded. Or the that stupid grenade launcher guy that takes away AP is like, well, that's an even bigger problem.
Yeah, your action economy being reduced hurts in ways that are not necessarily immediately obvious, but yes, I mean, even just stuff like the pin grenade. Because, 1 AP is now 1/9 of your total instead of 1/12 of your total.
Yeah. The other things like the heavy stubber locking a guy down, well, you now have one less person available to try to free them.
It can maybe make a difference depending on whether or not the person is locked down is easy to free.
Right.
If you got your interceptor who was going to teleport over there and punch him anyways, then that didn't do much.
Are engaged in a protracted campaign below.
The Bloomspawn will have easy access to loose biomatter, consuming it to accelerate their growth.
Then we must bathe every last one in purifying flame.
With the Imperial Guard's artillery heavy, sort of standard way of accomplishing things, is the only thing I could think of when you say, loose biomatter, because there's just bits of guardsmen floating around now. Like, what else does loose biomatter mean? These aren't Tyranids. They're not, sucking everything into the dive holes.
I think it just means that, dead Imperial Guardsmen.
Yeah, but wouldn't you describe it as, like, plenty of fresh corpses or something? Like, loose biomatter makes me think of a blender.
Right. I mean, I absolutely agree with you. I am also not cybernetically augmented like Lunette.
I guess that might think of anything not cybernetically augmented as loose biomatter.
Right.
Those kids just their rock and roll and their chaos taint.
Understood. The unfaithful
We prefer the term chaos perineum these days. So, hey, remember how I only have 3 guys? Welcome to the problem with that.
Here, as you say.
There are a lot of Nurgles over here.
I mean, they're not tough.
No.
But one of them is really annoying because he'll smite you through cover.
Yes. Which brings me to another interesting problem about what I have decided to do today. Do you notice the one particular class of knight I did not bring?
You didn't bring an apothecary.
I did not. Which means anytime I let a preacher scourge, that is 3 less HP I have for the entire duration of the mission.
I mean, you could be using servo skulls for that, but in practice...
Ugh. That means, if I was to do that, that would mean every war gear slot that was a servo skull was not something probably more useful, like the Sanctic Shard, or a grenade, or something like that, or a Blessed Greaves, I think, for the assassin. All for 5 HP.
Well, to the guy's credit, if you had a servo skull armor where you could potentially have an additional use and possibly more health out of it,
Time to reload.
you could do that. However, in general, an apothecary just works. You don't have to think about it, and the rest of your people can carry it less. Like, I can understand the argument of, a second interceptor would reduce the amount of damage that you take in the first place.
Aye, sir.
But apothecary is nice to have because you're not going to do perfect. You're not going to play perfectly. There's going to be unavoidable damage.
Foe destroyed,
Even if you have,
Commander.
4 interceptors, all with silencers teleporting around. I still want to do that, although I don't think that's going to show up in this LP.
No.
Like, it's a fun concept,
At once,
but
Commander.
there just aren't that many silencers. It would be a victory lap kind of thing.
on target.
Hey, I think I saw some of that loose biomatter go flying.
It's just making things worse.
I mean, it's better than, what, condensed biomatter for Nurgle?
Well, depending on your perspective, everybody is either condensed biomatter or loose biomatter.
Yeah, right. I think... Yeah, I think maybe I shouldn't have overwatched the Justicar and then take another shot on the creature. It wouldn't have done a whole lot, but it would have triggered support fire again, and I might be able to avoid that Scourge.
It is finished.
I feel like those Overwatches were okay.
They were. For the sake of avoiding the Scourge, though, I think I could have done a little better.
Yeah.
Foul heresy approaches.
You cannot see us.
Oh
I'm
boy.
upset. The reinforcements have another preacher.
Weapons ready.
More smite. At least this one is close enough that you can deal with it.
Yeah.
Fall.
This is also where taking advantage of any AP is really, really important.
Yeah. Once you have a skilled up Vindicare and you can leave people within pistol range,
Die.
you can get a lot of free AP.
Well, you can get 2 free AP.
Don't give up.
That's a
now.
lot.
Yeah, I mean, sure, that's 2/3 of your normal turn.
Yeah. My one regret is that you can't actually disable Scourge off of
Your
creatures.
orders?
If you shoot
no.
off their staff, you get their ability to do the Bloomometer, Swollen Flesh for armor, and Weapon X, but not their psychic unavoidable bullshit attack.
So what else are they going to do? Walk up and like punch you? They don't have their staff?
That's what everything else does.
Well, yeah, but they have a staff. They're a wizard. We all know wizards don't know how to cast Fist.
Why don't wizards ever train to use like a quarterstaff?
We slay the darkness.
I mean, it's because everybody hates Gandalf.
Chaos stands within the shadows.
Just Gandalf just whipping that thing around, just bonking people. That'd be pretty great. So here, I think I have forgotten that an Interceptor has melee disabled.
Oh yeah, could have been taking advantage of some of that support fire.
As you
Oh, well,
command.
we haven't shot anything yet. I mean, aside from the 2 free pistols, but those are the
Yes.
kills, so.
In my sights.
There we go. Nice.
Must reload.
Okay, so no Scourge. This guy is the Grenadier. I don't really have to worry about cover or anything.
Purge. I must rearm.
Unfortunately, he's gonna get to
out
run
of
away from me
sight.
without taking an
Eat
attack.
this. Does he yet stand?
Of course he does yet stand. He fired something that didn't do any damage.
My blade is yours.
I'm kind of curious what you're going to be doing with that pod. It looks like you're specifically trying to avoid accidentally triggering it.
Yeah.
I am an instrument of vengeance.
I too am curious what I'm going to do about that. I'm pretty sure my idea here, though, is get the kill of the Grenadier and then try to get inside plant artillery.
Right.
Your command. power.
Every time you make a melee attack, there's part of me that's always waiting for a miss. Even though it can't happen in this game.
Yeah. The, 5%
Yeah.
chance a ranger whiffs in XCOM or something?
Yeah, because it was always really bad when it happened in XCOM.
Really?
I can see the point at which you just said, fuck it.
Yeah.
Ready.
Don't actually think I'm out of range there. So where the Vindicar is standing, I actually know is in range because on the other save file I streamed for a night. I had this exact map and this exact plant there, and the plant, I guess for lack of a better term, doesn't have squad sight. Or does have squad sight. It doesn't have omniscience. So even though I was probably in range, if the plant actually couldn't see me, I was safe.
Right.
But if there were enemies down, where the interceptor is, it would be able to artillery me.
Locked on.
I feel like he might have been able to no-scope that one.
Yeah, say, probably have hip-fired that.
Remember, Snapshot is still the worst sniper skill.
And it's going to give you the one rifle that fires from a single AP.
Oh, in War of the Chosen, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the Warlocks, isn't it? Or
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
No, the Hunters.
Oh no, Poxwalkers. This is just like War of the Chosen.
Psy zombies.
You're gonna get, yeah, you're gonna get some size zombies.
These are actually kind of worse. Sorry, you were saying?
I was just thinking it's gonna be sort of like the Lost showing up, and then you just pistol them down.
Oh, I wish. So these actually aren't going to be the really shitty ones that are like 1 or 2 HP. These are the ones that are like 4 and can do 2 damage or 3 damage if they have a club. The I don't know, dangerous part of it is that
Ammunition
they don't just
depleted.
spawn and take a scatter move like a
Yeah,
reveal.
They spawn
take
and
their
take their
full-
actions.
Yeah, they will come out of the ground, walk over to where we're standing right now, and punch me.
It's an extremely rude surprise. However, you can spend an action to seal them with fire.
Psionic blue light.
I mean, you just incinerated this corpse to ash
You think that's okay? I think that is what we're doing. I don't know.
with psionic fire. You know,
Sure.
the Emperor's holy flame and all that.
Is that a thing, or is it just more like Promethium is just oil?
I mean, Promethium is just oil, but it is also the Emperor's holy flame. and they scourge the non-believers with the Emperor's holy light, which happens to be gasoline.
I really didn't expect there to be this sort of Mad Max-esque
As
feel to
requested.
40k, but here we are.
What is your will?
I'm gonna need some fan art of the Emperor's holy guzzling, I guess. Okay, of Morden Joe on the Golden Throne. I'm gonna need that, please. Thank you.
I mean, I feel like Immortan Joe is more like something green skin maybe, or maybe just a really fat dark elf.
I am an instrument of vengeance.
Okay. Immortan Joe
Because-
as Gaseous Greasius?
Because the dark elf aesthetic fits straight into Mad Max.
Oh, does it? Okay.
Yeah, they're all like, mostly naked with leather straps and spikes everywhere.
This way, out of sight. They will not see me here.
What do we have
Okay,
here?
how did I... Is there a window or the break in the wall, I guess?
I'm pretty sure it's the break in the wall.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Pretty sure I was planning on going around left of these guys and letting them move away. But,
Yeah, just
here we
skip
are.
the pod.
Yeah.
Ready to fire.
Given me a weird opportunity to prepare for them.
Yeah. Try to look at the silhouettes and see if there's anything dangerous.
I'm looking for ranged, actually. Looks like the only two guys with guns are way over there. And I say that because the big thing I have in the middle of this room is high cover, so if I wanted to take Overwatch, I'd have
trained and
to
ready.
step out of it and then lock in cover from ranged attackers.
Right.
But also, if they're going to have to run at me, I might as well just stay put.
Just get in a good position.
Overwatch is based on your ammo count and your AP, so if one more AP saved and not moving means one more shot when they run into my cone. Vindicare can't Overwatch.
Yeah, it's something I don't think I realized until just now.
With how underwhelming Overwatch is usually in this game, the Vindicare not overwatching usually isn't a problem.
The gods favor you!
After all, Overwatch can't crit and trigger precision targeting. So
It's
that
a
worked.
little rough.
Yeah, that mostly worked though. Justicar didn't take any damage past armor. Interceptor did.
Yeah, I think putting the interceptor into cover, even if you had to step out for the Overwatch, would probably have, hindsight 2020, probably have been a better move.
Yeah, probably. Probably would just put him against the box he's at and still taking the same Overwatch and only gotten 2 shots off instead of 3. Which save him 2 health, probably.
Yeah.
Taking aim.
Are you in range for... Yes.
Executed.
Oh, I didn't see the box.
Yeah, I didn't either at the time.
I feel like the interceptor could maybe stab that guy and then...
Yeah, so that's a misplay. The interceptor ran out of ammo on the previous shot.
Unleash me.
Oh.
The red
No support fire.
yeah, the red icon flashed very briefly, and I caught it in post. But at the time, yeah, he's out. Like, again, it's just the fucking UI. I don't care that my sword has infinite swings. Why is that even something the developers put in the game? Why did they...
Just show your ammo at all times.
Yes, exactly. Like, there is no information gained from sword equals infinite on the screen, ever.
Wonder if they were considering, like, weapons that had to be reloaded.
Yes, Commander.
Like, a power maul or whatever that would do less damage if it wasn't loaded between hits.
Huh.
Listening.
I'm just trying to figure out how they would possibly have decided that this was a UI element that needed to exist.
Right. And there's been 2 DLCs. Like, this game has had some post-launch support.
Position.
I would really like to ask somebody that was, on the development team, what was this decision? What was this element, and why?
Reloaded.
And why hasn't it been fixed since? I wonder if I can just send an email to, like, studio general email and get an answer to try that.
I seriously doubt you'd get a response.
Yeah,
Also, figuring that part of the tactical problem that you're trying to solve is how do you get that juicy seed out of that guy?
Yeah. A little bit. For right now, though, greens, I'm not worried too much about. They are the only color currently, and they're plentiful.
It's plentiful for now.
Yes. And really, the answer to your seed-based question is just the melee voice.
another
So, get lucky.
No, interceptor's out of cover. Short of... I don't even think you have an angle where you can charge. Well, I guess if you stood at the outside of Overwatch, your charge might reach him.
So I have an option here. I could wave the flag on the interceptor and get him back into cover and do something, and then whatever. But where the Justicar it was likely to get shot, probably for a damage or two. So I might as well just run through the Overwatch, take the 1 damage, 2 stopped by armor, and just solve the problem.
Yeah.
It's probably taking 1, maybe 2 damage if I had just ended turn.
And hey, seed.
Seeds.
I don't remember seeing the jump through a window animation before. It's just really funny.
On the hunt.
I can't remember. I think there might still be a patrol to my left.
Yes, there was something.
Yeah. I've been planning on engaging that one and avoiding the one that we just killed, and so now my plans are all backwards.
As you will.
I think you forgot it existed.
Approaching enemy position.
I either forgot after dealing with that, or I'm trying to rush the objective now.
Well, I mean,
come on.
with
Before
only
it comes
3
around.
units. Rushing the objective is not a bad plan. Key to Infinity.
Yeah. No, I was just checking, because last time, Bakir was injured, and that wasn't an option.
Yeah.
Ready to kill. Storm. My blade is yours.
I don't want to say commentary about Bakir and what she may or may not be doing wrong.
Will be done. Foul intruders. They will not prevail. Yes, master.
Not what I wanted, but I guess to be expected. These things almost always generate a defense portal.
I'm trying to remember, does Gate Infinity cost 1 AP, or does it cap you at 2?
It costs 1.
Okay.
Are you asking for the point of, can you spend all of your AP and then teleport out?
Well, I was specifically thinking, like, because I know after you teleport, you're limited to 2 AP per person.
Right.
And I figured subtracting roll was the most credible way.
Yeah.
But it would mean that to get more distance on, like, the rest of your people, you could just run someone extremely far forward.
Yeah. And then teleport.
And then teleport to be able to have, like, the maximum line of sight.
Right. So, I think we've mentioned this before, but psychic powers don't work with the assassins, so Vindicare wouldn't get teleported.
Oh, yeah,
Weapons
that's right.
ready.
So, while you were thinking about that, I was doing the mental math of there's a 38 HP plant there. If I teleported the 2 knights that can, I have 4 AP. If I Quicksilver, I have 6. 6 by 38, I would need...
You'd need to do more than 6 damage.
about 7 in action. 7 in action. You know, that might have been doable. Especially if I got support fire in there for free if the Vindicare could reach and shoot it twice. That actually might have been doable.
Die.
I don't think the Vindicare could actually have reached. Or at least not on a single.
Must reload.
Probably not.
Like that plant is outside the visible range of your closer people.
Yeah.
Your orders?
So I might have either calculated that I wasn't going to be able to get 38 in a turn, or I might have just been looking at this and being like, oh, I can't even begin to reach the plant for the teleport, plus the Vindicator would be out of range for trying to shoot the plant and draw support fire.
Yeah. That is one of the drawbacks of bringing the Vindicators is you don't get Gate of Infinity. And, you know, the other stratagems, but...
Moving out! Commander.
With 4 people bringing along an assassin, you still have 3 units worth of AP. That's 6 AP, 8 if you use another stratagem. Like, that would be not trivial, but very easily doable.
Yeah. So, like, if it's a Purgator instead of the Vindicator, they're going to shoot the plant anyway, and you're going to draw that support fire.
I am an instrument of vengeance.
Yes, Commander.
Vindicator at your disposal.
Okay.
It is just kind of awkward because you also...
Oh no, he's in range. So my big problem was I didn't want the big explodey guy to still have Pestilent Explosion. Looks like I should be able to just crippling shot him and disable that. I'm not gonna take this shot and support fire kill, am I? I guess I am.
Who's next, brothers? Here.
Or did I just want to get as few people out of the way from getting the buff when he explodes and then shoot him? I think I should have crippled shot and disabled that ability. And then worried about the lesser Poxwalkers. Well, the regular Poxwalkers, the lesser ones are the 1 HP ones.
Alright, Boris, don't move.
Another falls to the Knights of Titan. Pain is beneath me. Barely a scratch.
There, I see one.
Oh, did that pod actually... Oh, no, that was warp gate, wasn't it? Or...
No, that's the
Under
I don't actually... I had forgotten these. This is an entire another pod that was active, I guess, because they're shooting me this turn. I didn't know that there was another group active. Where did these guys even come from?
Well, this isn't the warp gate.
No. That hasn't resolved yet. It's,
Yeah, where the fuck did these guys come from?
Die!
Because the pod that previously was active was on your left. These guys are coming down and from your right.
Also, they're full active. Like, they didn't just stumble on me and then scramble. These guys are full active shooting me.
Yeah. Yeah, because there's the warp gate.
Yeah.
And there's another pod that's activated.
Yeah. So this went from, I have this firmly under control to, surprise, completely surrounded, plus, you know, took a turn of getting shot in the back.
Well, this would be a problem if you weren't going to end the turn this mission. Wow. End the mission this turn.
Yes.
You know, you say that. I'm thinking, I still don't actually see the plant over there.
You do have more vision.
Yeah.
So you're thinking about the Gate of Infinity.
Oh, I am, yeah.
Reconsidering it. Because, like, my expectation here is that you would just Gate of Infinity as far forward as possible. use your other stratagem to get the AP and then blow all of your willpower doing absolutely as much damage as you can. I mean, you're further forward.
Yeah.
The plant is just not visible, but I don't think it's that far away. On the other hand, kind of interesting. I'm wondering if you're going to be spending all of your AP and then Gate of Infinity to safety.
Also a good plan.
Or at least, like, substantially further away from all the people who are shooting you in the back.
Right.
I am an instrument of vengeance. Get up!
Yeah, because you'll have the full 3 AP to just run the Vindicare into cover. Those guys are pretty far away. If you just blitzed yourself, you know, up and to the right.
Yeah.
I don't know that they could actually do much to you.
Right. There is one thing to note and remember. All of these guys are cultists, and they just have basic guns, right? I mean, except for
So
that
if
gun.
you're in full cover, or even in half cover, they can't do much.
What if I just stood still?
Activating
yeah.
camellia-line defenses.
Because he's got stealth.
Yeah. Now he can't be targeted by ranged attacks. This is one of the few times where that covers everything that's going to be able to shoot at him. It doesn't stop melee. It doesn't stop spread attacks either, or blast. So,
No, I
like,
don't think stealth
Nurgle
really protects
sprayers.
you much from a flamethrower.
Yeah. Well,
Or chemical sprayer, as
chemical sprayer, yeah. Whatever the plague marines use.
It's weird that you can trigger stealth and then still keep shooting.
The wicked tools cannot
They don't know where the shots are coming from. I do like that they let you do that. But also, I think they kind of mechanically have to. So, going stealth doesn't take AP, but once you've used up all of your AP, you
can't
can't
go
reselect
stealth.
the character and click it.
Yeah. No, that makes a whole lot of sense. Because from a standpoint, like, the only thing the Vindicare can do is shoot. Like, if stealth didn't cost AP, but shooting broke it, but the only thing you could do with that last AP is, you know, move.
Yeah.
Does moving break stealth?
No.
No, yeah. So from a, like, usability standpoint, if you were going to make shooting break stealth, you might as well just make it cost me.
It is finished.
Yeah, I just... This did not go either of the ways that I thought it might have.
Get up!
Right?
Get up!
I also didn't, I guess, during the actual playing of it, expect to sit there, you know, kind of dig in and confront the triangle of Nurgle that were surrounding me.
Not everything is a triangle.
Just the heretical things, like Nurgle.
I can't actually remember what shape Nurgle's symbol is, but I'm pretty sure it's not a triangle. It might be like 2 triangles.
I thought it was kind of like the 3 circles and like the
Oh yeah. It's like the kind of like the
biohazard sign.
Of course, it's not the side.
Kill them all!
But you know what, I thought Nurgle's favorite number was 3.
Yes.
All of their numbers are like 6, 7, 8, 9. I forget which god's which, but oh no, suppressed.
God, watch over me.
Suppressed is actually a little bit more known, so it does 6 damage rather than 3.
Well, yeah, but
Just wait. Just
The-
wait.
I couldn't see who he actually
They
did
will
it to.
not see me.
It's the
here.
Interceptor. He should be able to just teleport out, right?
Yeah, they're suppressing the Justicar.
And the Justicar can just charge out, because that also ignores autos.
Watch over me.
Yep.
And then
Overwatch.
Vindicare couldn't have been targeted because stealth.
I feel like they know where he is, though.
I feel like they do. They have a suspicion.
Like, we can't shoot him. That doesn't mean we don't know where he is, I guess. I mean, it's very rules lawyery, but correct, I guess.
Oh, I ended up, YouTube sent me a random thing about a player who had gotten banned from a tournament for possibly being rules lawyery.
Okay. Is this the all scouts guy versus the all bikes guy?
No, that dude is a saint.
Okay.
Okay, I understand like the purpose of it, but it's still really funny that you're using this to solve a completely different problem.
Yeah.
Your command.
No, this was a specific weird rules interaction that may not have necessarily been intentional by the player,
Empty.
Alright.
but the player ended up getting banned tournaments from a year because of it.
Oh, jeez.
So when you're modeling stuff for tournament play, you are required to model things in a way that avoid the idea of modeling for advantage. So the specific example is he had a flyer, which is operating in hover mode.
Okay.
I don't really know how the rules work for that, but I know that there are flyers in hover mode. They function more like land speeders or like other modes. You can assault them.
Keep
Okay.
your faith.
The rule is that when
Keep
you
your
measure,
faith. Target.
you have to be within 5 inches of the
Fall.
vertically for it to be close enough for you to assault
Vengeance.
Vertically.
vertically.
Okay.
Horizontally, you have to be, underneath it.
Gotcha.
As opposed to some other
Vulnerability
cases
analysis
where
complete.
you just measure from the base as to whether or not you're close enough. In this one, you measure to the model, and there's some specific rules for, like, what is close enough for assaulting. Because the general idea is that you don't want to have to be screwing around with the models or, like,
Time to reload.
modeling people on step stools. So they make it pretty wide.
Okay.
Well, as it turns out, this guy had
Another
either
curve goes
screwed up
down.
modeling it or was intentionally doing it. His flyer, one of the space ones, I don't remember, was like 1/4 of an inch higher,
What is your will?
which meant that if you were trying to charge the wing, which looks like one of the lower parts that you should be able to reach, you can't. Like, you have to basically go directly underneath it to be able to reach it. It's a little bit weird. YouTube throw weird videos at me for some reason.
Okay.
But yeah, no, the guy who covered the entire like enemy side of the field
Yeah.
was absolutely a saint.
That's not what I remember. There was something like one guy had an army of bikers, which I guess deploy in reserve, which meant that he could wait until the other person had put all their units on the table and then decide how to deploy.
Well, it's not just that. When you're coming in from reserve, you move from the table edge, or you destroy. Your bikes could move at the time. It was 12 inches from the table edge, and then get their full turn of shooting. What this meant was that no matter what happened with like the initial dice roll or any of that, that guy got to take the first turn, seeing the enemy composition, with
Right.
no opportunity for the other guy to have even a 1 in 6 chance of getting to go first. Normally, you set up your people in play. There's always a chance that the other person rolls higher than you on who gets to get first turn, who takes the first shot.
Confirmed.
That guy found a loophole in the rules that said he always gets to go first. Fine.
Kill them all! They will not see me here.
But the crux of it was that he had to deploy on his side of the table, not within so many inches of an enemy unit.
Yeah. And then,
Some other guy was
like,
like, I'm just a bunch of scouts that can deploy anywhere as long as they're not within so many inches of an enemy unit. Hey, you don't have anybody on your side of the board. I'm just going to put my guys spread out on your side of the board. Or your edge of the board, so you don't have anywhere to come in.
Yeah. You can't deploy anywhere on your side of the table because they're all too close. It's one of those things where the organizers can look at it and say, like, okay, technically, yes. But if you ever do this again, you're banned.
Avoid its fate.
To the bike guy or the recon guy?
I mean, it should have been the bike guy. The recon guy, like, you can't not look at that and go, like, that's a brilliant tactical maneuver.
Yeah, that is adjusting to your opposition. So, back to this, though. With only 3 units, I've actually weathered being surrounded remarkably well. I'm quite surprised.
Most of the damage you took was from that initial group coming out of nowhere, not having, like, visibly been activated and shooting you in the ass. From there, it was just... You went, killed a bunch of them, you gated Infinity and killed a whole bunch more, and now it's just mopping up.
I mean, it was really daunting when it first happened, and you're surprised and getting shot in the back, and I'm looking around, and it's like 20 on 3.
Yeah, I wasn't watching the video. I really would have expected that you would have just basically bolted for the objective and ended the mission.
That certainly was an option. Like, if you were, sitting around watching me play this live, if you had said that, I would have really strongly considered it.
Well, I think you bring up a good point. With only 6 AP maximum to work with, and not having the objective in sight, it's possible that it would not have ended your turn, like, ended the mission.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have been able to do it in one turn. It probably would have been a successful strategy anyways, because what's likely to be over there that's going to have stopped you, or, like, wounded somebody?
Right. Worst case, got spit on by the plant a little bit, and then all the cultists spend all their AP chasing.
Right.
And the Care could stealth and still move and just not be shot at. It probably could have worked out.
I feel like, unless there was a pod guarding the plant, which had already been activated.
Moving.
Well, like, they wouldn't have been killed at that point.
That's right. There was still, 3 melee poxwalkers surrounding the Justicar.
But I mean, aside from the plant itself, if you had teleport forward, even if you had to spend an AP or 2 moving forward, it's not like the enemy would have been able to really kill anybody in a single turn. Like, they couldn't even reach you.
In my sights.
Really, I'm trying to think of the only way that could have backfired is if there was
empty.
another pod behind the plant.
Right.
On the hunt.
But this way you got more XP.
Eh. I think I was okay with that because Plant Spit isn't armor piercing. And that Tornado armor, I think, is the one that's immune to Plague. Yeah, it's not armor piercing.
It is a random affliction, but...
Yeah. Getting hobbled or something might have sucked.
It'd be really funny if the plant spit could just inflict burning or bleed.
I mean, Plague is effectively that.
Yeah, it's what they use. But when I see random affliction, I tend to think of, like, how, like in a Crystal Project, one of the things Kenneth can do is give a random buff or debuff. And it turns out that random really is random. It's any possible buff or debuff from the entire list of ones in the game.
Vindicare at your
It's
disposal.
not useful or reliable, but it is fun.
Reloaded. As you will.
It feels weird for this to be so
Firing.
serious. Like, You get killed, everything threatens you.
Yeah.
You're taking some injuries. The plant's not going to kill you.
No, we're hugging the plant. We're inside its minimum firing range as long as I just like move forward, shoot, move back with the Vindicare. Forgot I even had that at this point.
Obviously not. You just used it.
Well, I mean, post me.
No.
No.
Well, you didn't
it's-
need it to clear out all the other pods.
I might have been able to put it to use in the triangle ambush just to take a little bit less damage or something. But you know me and my giant robotic crab syndrome. So, taking 3 units, not usually something I'd recommend. This actually went surprisingly well. On the stream file, I tried to do something similar to this, except my guys weren't nearly as high level, and it went very badly. Ooh, 5 damage. Extra Cybolt damage, lots of Cybolt damage.
Chance of a willpower refund.
Oof,
That's a solid bolter.
that is a very good Storm Bolter.
It is not a very good set of falchions.
No. I mean, once it's upgraded, it's a benefit of armor piercing, but armor piercing is not great against most things, because if everybody had armor piercing, yeah, swell. Otherwise, I'd prefer armor break. Oh, is that the grenade armor again? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, grenade armor is okay.
Oh, the enhanced auto senses.
I mean, it's tempting.
It is. It's very tempting. Like, it's not the tier 3 one, but man, you put that thing on Purgators later, and they start doing crits. That's so much extra damage.
Yeah, for those, that the tier 2 is almost because it's only 3 damage versus 4.
Yeah.
Like it's only +1 from going to tier 3. You're really thinking about it. You're also, I can tell you're thinking about the need to save up requisition.
Yeah. I'm
You
betting
go
that my
from the
thought
grenade
process
armor.
here is that I'm actually at 6. Oh no, I'm doing this? Oh man, I don't even remember.
Yeah. Well, 4 available versus 5 available was effectively the same in terms
Yeah.
of how many more upgrades you can get.
So I think that's I really do like those helmets for Purgators later on. And also, I would say Vindicare, but I want crit chance and then proc chance for focus crystal. But those things let the Purgators just do a lot of damage sometimes. And the Interceptor is getting into the juicy skills where it's full of crit chance, crit damage, and then ruthless reflexes.
Precision.
Yeah.
Yeah. Additional bleed, dead shot more frequently. What's not to like?
I mean, I did make a lot of extra requisition on that glorious deed, so you know we can spend.
Dawn.
Now I gotta
The
remember.
resources are there to be spent, and not
Yeah.
spending them is just giant robotic crab syndrome.
Bask.
I mean, I'll spend them once we get full unlock. Right. The Bosk has the ammo.
Theoden.
Yeah. This is Neoton. Has pockets right away.
Yeah, which is
Storm
unfortunately.
bolter range is.
So Storm Bolter range, I really like for like apothecaries, especially.
It's not bad for an interceptor though. That's more range that you can use for
Support fire.
support fire.
Yeah, but they teleport.
And you don't want pockets right away.
They're going to be in range. I mean, pockets right away isn't terrible, but the skills that you have to get to it kind of suck. And I'm gonna have to remember in my tally that I don't think interceptors usually have the luxury of getting pockets if they get everything else I want for them.
Oh, that's something that we can cover.
Yeah. Now that I'm caught up on pre-recorded things, yeah, and you know, or people are getting up into level 5, level 6, so we're halfway through their levels. I think it's about time to start discussing builds and why I'm taking what I am taking. Unfortunately, we're not going to get to another mission this outbreak, which is unfortunate.
I mean, you could, if you had beelined all the warp speed, it's maybe possible that there are more situations where you could get a second mission in, but yeah.
There are a lot of competing needs and outcomes for ship upgrades at the start of the game.
Initially, like on the very first run, I was like, oh, it makes a whole lot of sense to get more warp speed. But all that does is it means that sometimes you can take a second mission for an outbreak when you can only take one. And it's not all that often that it matters.
Yeah. It is great when it happens. But that's it for this time. So we're going to take a break from missions and make some class guides. So stick around and see you in those.